Your Vote 2024, I'm John White. Karen Devine is on assignment. The votes still being counted on this Super Tuesday with 15 states and 1 U.S. territory all holding presidential contests. We are closely monitoring all the results and what they mean now going into the general election. We have live team coverage tonight. Peter Daut is live in studio covering some of the national trends. Jennifer Franco is in the Breaking News Center with reaction on some local races and the U.S. Senate race here in California. News Channel 3's Karen Devine standing by at Republican U.S. Senate candidate Steve Garvey's primary event tonight at the JW Marriott in Palm Desert. That's the race we are going to start with, actually two races. First, the one for a full Senate term that will start in January of next year. Multiple news organizations projecting tonight that Democrat Adam Schiff and Republican Steve Garvey will in fact face each other in the general election, with both out to large leads over the other candidates. Same for the partial Senate term for the remaining few weeks of late Senator Dianne Feinstein's term. Schiff and Garvey also the top two in this one tonight. News Channel 3's Karen Devine live in Palm Desert, where she spoke with Garvey tonight. Karen.
Well, John, everyone is cleared out for the night. There are more than 200 people here supporting him. A lot of locals, of course, because he does live here in Palm Desert, but people from all over the state, up and down the state, including media, here to see what Mr. Garvey had to say. ABC News projecting pretty early there that Schiff and Garvey will move on to November. I got the opportunity to ask him about the momentum in this race and how it has translated to his name on the ballot.
The people are speaking. I think they're listening to my message, talking about common sense and compassion, building teams and consensus, and for some reason this is resonating now.
And he went on to say that they now have a real competitive race ahead and that people he's spoken with want change.
In a one-party state, I think the people have been suppressed to thinking that, is there anybody that will stand up for us? And I've decided to do that.
Mr. Garvey, what's coming next?
And when he saw the numbers tonight, he called it a California comeback, the first game of the doubleheader. He's raring to go. It's now off to the races for Mr. Garvey and his campaign as they head toward November. John?
Okay, Karen live in Palm Desert tonight. News Channel 3's Jen Franco now in the Breaking News Center tonight, where she's been following reaction from the Adam Schiff camp, where there was actually some dissension tonight when he addressed supporters. Jen.
That's exactly right, John. A Democratic frontrunner, Adam Schiff, hosting his watch party tonight in Hollywood, and while he was addressing the crowd there, his speech was interrupted by members of the audience who were chanting for a ceasefire in Gaza.
It's been my privilege to work with her when she was the head of the Intelligence Committee. When I was working on the Senate side.
Yeah, supporters then chanted back his name, Adam, so Schiff had to pause multiple times before he could complete his remarks.
But I also want to acknowledge again my great gratitude to all of my wonderful supporters. I want to acknowledge the right of our protesters, and I look forward to working with you all and onward to victory in November. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
And again, ABC News and other outlets are calling this race for Schiff and Garvey, both now advancing to the general election in November, which we will, of course, be watching very closely. John?
That is for sure. Thank you, Jen. Moving now to the national stage. It's been a long winning night for the frontrunners. President Biden in the Democratic contest and former President Trump in the Republican primaries. News Channel 3's Peter Daut staying on top of those presidential contests. Peter, it's been close to a sweep tonight for those two and for Donald Trump. Is there now a path for Nikki Haley to even stay in the race?
Yeah, John, sweep is the right word. Although Nikki Haley is the projected winner in Vermont, that would be her only win in the state, awarding the fewest amount of delegates this Super Tuesday. So far, Trump has swept victories in at least a dozen of the 15 Republican primaries today, including California. His team is aware he will not cross the delegate threshold tonight to become the presumptive Republican nominee, but their hope is that he secures enough delegates to ensure he does meet that milestone as early as next Tuesday. Trump's campaign is also hoping tonight's definitive win will effectively force Haley to drop out of the race. He spoke to supporters from his residence in Florida tonight, touting his wins and claiming we have a very divided country and vowed to unify it soon.
They call it Super Tuesday for a reason. This is a big one. And they tell me, the pundits and otherwise, that there's never been one like this. There's never been anything so conclusive. It's been an incredible period of time in our country's history. It's been sad in so many ways, but I think it's going to be inspiring because we're going to do something that, frankly, nobody's been able to do for a long time.
As for President Biden, he won nearly all primaries tonight except American Samoa. He lost that caucus to entrepreneur and investor Jason Palmer. Biden did issue a statement warning that a second Trump term would mean a return to chaos, division, and darkness. Live in studio, Peter Doubt, News Channel 3.
Thank you, Peter. Your Vote 2024 coverage will continue next on News Channel 3. A look at the 2 local congressional races.